presentation and discussion regarding Desert Foothills Library. Mr. Ford, Mr. Gardner.
Mayor Schwan, council members, good evening. Something of an annual report from the library, let you know how we're getting on. We've had a steady flow of changes at the library, and I really would like the opportunity to talk to you about those. This year we celebrated our 59th birthday. We have gone through a number of changes in that time, from being operating out of the trunk of a car or running from a restaurant, but we've been on our current site on Schoolhouse Road and Cave Creek for since the mid-1970s. Our building is 19,000 square feet. It houses the library, both adult and children's libraries, together with our bookstore, which is Chapter 2 book. We have an annual budget for the year ending 30th of June 2013 of approximately $640,000. 86% of that is funded by the community. Our target for the current fiscal year for donations from our patrons is $250,000, and at the current time we're standing at about $214,000. It never ceases to amaze me how generous our community is, and I would like to publicly thank them for that, because without them we wouldn't have a library. So the library costs about $1,800 a day to open, and we're open 355 days a year. We are very dependent at the library because of the small staff that we have on our volunteers. In the last fiscal year, we racked up 23,000 hours of volunteer time. We're going to present for the first time this year a Volunteer of the Ward, which is called our Corky Coburn Volunteer of the Year. Corky was a Volunteer of the Year, a volunteer at the library for 50 years before she moved away from the area last year. The library has become so much more than a library. We do a movie every Monday afternoon, and Arthur actually regularly brings members or neighbours from the Foothills Caring Corps to the library. The library has become very much a gathering place within the community. We have two very active librarians, an adult librarian and a children's librarian. The children's librarian provides programs not only for teenagers but also for our very young children. And that is a source of great delight to everyone who is involved with the library, because it brings so many children in. The non-profits in this area benefit equally from collaborations between ourselves. I listed a number of collaborations that we've had, and I'll just run briefly through those. We're working very hard with the Caring Corps at the moment to try and get our homebound delivery service off the ground. We were lucky enough to get a grant from the State Library to provide regular visits to either elderly or ill potential patrons of the library, and we saw the Caring Corps as being a catalyst to getting that off the ground, because they have access to so many people who can't leave the house without assistance. We are a collection point for the Foothills Food Bank, which is another collaboration that we've introduced. And we also work very closely with the Sonoran Arts League, for whom we are a permanent gallery. We have recognised that the library world is changing very, very quickly. Resources are going over to electronic resources, and we have tried to embrace that by introducing a digital library. It's very, very expensive to do that. The strategic plan has identified 4 key areas of concentration for us as an organisation. One of those is the concept of providing a third place to our residents. First place is home, second place is a place of work, And third place is a place where you would go for social interaction, which is neither of the first two. And we believe that the future of the library is by us becoming third place. I've touched on this a little bit earlier with regard to our programming. And the reason we do the programming is because we believe the future of the library is very much more than just a place to come and borrow books or borrow DVDs. We need to provide a reason to our residents to come to the library even if they don't want to borrow books and DVDs. So we're trying very, very hard to position the library as almost a community centre. And the number of programs in the year ending 30th of June 2012, we had over 750, I think it was, 748, I think it was the exact number. So we had over 700 programs at the library. In the current year, I fully expect that to increase. Today we had a program with the Phoenix Art Museum. We've had programs with the Scottsdale Contemporary Art Museum and the Heard Museum. We are doing quite a lot of exercise classes for people, yoga, qigong, and the like. So we're trying to very much adapt to what is happening in our society. In the strategic plan, one is operational excellence. We believe very strongly in customer service. I mean, we are a very small fish in a big pond here. Operational excellence means that we are on top of our game the whole time. A third example is technical excellence, and we have just converted all of our public computers. We have 23 computers available for the public, including computers specifically for the children and the teens, and each one of those now has Windows 8 on them. So we've upgraded our software as much as we can. Part of my reason for coming is obviously that we would love the town of Carefree to be involved with the library financially. Greg Gardner, the president of the board, who's sitting behind me, has accompanied me, and I think he's going to talk to you a little bit about some of the history.